Hello students, boys and girls. Many a times it has been observed that the engineering students, they think that their misconcept that career is nothing but taking a job during final year or maybe after final year. So as such, according to them, the career basically implies getting a job in a dream company or maybe basically planning for or going abroad and doing MS. That's what they think career is. But on the contrary, career is basically a profession or occupation which involves a significant period of time of a person's life with opportunities, exploiting upon it, making an action plan, and trying to see what exactly you want to become or you want to get placed in the coming 10 years, 15 years of your future life. So, welcome to ACE Engineering College. This is Dr. Khalil Khan, and in this series, we are going to talk about what is career options for particularly engineering students. Okay, so let's start. In this presentation, today's first presentation, we'll look into what is career, what are career options, how to plan career, so that you are in a comfortable position during your course of study, rather than getting confused when you come to final year. Okay, so let's start with a formal definition of what exactly career is, and then we'll go ahead with the other options. So if you see the slide, the first point say that career is an occupation or basically a profession that is undertaken for a significant amount of time, period of time of a person's life, and with opportunities to exploit for progress. So as such, an engineering student ideally is required to basically plan where does he or she want to see himself or herself down the line 5 years from the final year, passing out from final year, or 10 years or 15 years. So as such, you have to make an action plan. Where do you want to see yourself in that ladder of career progress for maybe 20 years, 25 years. So that is going to consume a good amount of time of your precious life. So career is not simply, don't think that just getting a job in some dream company like TCS, Accenture, Wipro or something else. Okay. So career describes an individual's journey. Look at that. He is using the word journey through the learning process, work and other aspects of life. So even after passing out and getting into a company, your career planning doesn't stop or should not stop. Otherwise, you get stagnant. You cannot be in a position to climb up the ladder of making progress. So it's a continuous process until you achieve your final goal. Okay. And in this video, because I'm basically dealing with the computer science department, I work as professor and dean in ACE Engineering College in the Department of Computer Science. So my emphasis on this presentation will be on computer science, career aspects or career plan with regard to computer science. So it, even though I have written computer science, it equally applies to all the sister concern departments or disciplines of computer science, namely like you take information technology, or you take AI/ML, you take data science, IoT, cybersecurity, and so on. To all these streams, essentially it applies. And the general aspects of this, I would say, equally holds to other streams of engineering, maybe electronics, electrical, and so on. Or those people who are from electronics and electrical and mechanical as well, and civil as well, if they wish to pursue, take up their career, build up their career in the software industry, right? Then this presentation, I'm very sure, is also going to be very meaningful. So therefore, first of all, you should have a clear idea what exactly is computer science. Computer science is not like any core engineering. As you see, many other streams like civil, mechanical also are taking up their careers in computer science, right? So it's a discipline which basically an epicenter of excellence, right? It was born to solve problems for which solutions does not exist. That is an important aspect of computer science. It is an epicenter of excellence, epitome of excellence, with a perception of solving problems, computational problems, science-related problems, mathematics-related problems, logic-related problems. And you take any STEM discipline, you will find the role of computer science, right? For solving problems of those domains for which solutions have not existed. And the most critical and important aspect of computer science is that it involves the skill of problem solving. So CSC means problem solving, which is an essential skill of a person's life or an attribute of a computer science engineer. So most of the time we misconcept thinking that problem solving means coding. No, my dear students, problem solving is not just coding. Coding anybody can do. Coding in C, C++, Java, Python. Any BSc, BA, BCom graduate as well can learn programming. But what is primarily important is problem solving. Solving the problem, developing an idea, developing an efficient strategy, proposing an efficient solution, that is called problem solving. Okay? So problem solving is the main core part of computer science that we try to learn. So as such, without much delay, we will explore what are, in general, by and large, the career options for a computer science and related stream engineers. Related stream, I mean, as I said, again, I'm re-emphasizing, like IT, information technology, or AI/ML, or data science, or any other such stream. What are, in general, career options? And most important aspect of career development, I would say, is when to start this process. Because in my personal observation, I have been teaching for the past 30 years, I could say that, I could see as well that many a time students, they don't plan their career and eventually go into confusion, go into depression when they come to final year. So my humble appeal to all the students of particularly first and second year, do watch the video and act accordingly, make a concrete action plan with regard to career so that you enjoy final year. I would always tell the student that when you are coming to final year, you should be enjoying the final year, right? Enjoy all aspects of your college life in the final year rather than getting into a turmoil situation with regard to career planning. So if you plan right from first year, then I'm very sure you are going to have a very gala time in the final year. Okay? So let's explore what are the general options of career for a computer science graduate, and again re-emphasizing all the related streams of computer science graduate. So these are the several options. Let us try to take up one by one. The first one is going for higher education. After graduating or doing B.Tech or B computer science or B in the domain of computer science and related streams, you have an option for going in for higher studies, right? Like taking up M.Tech program, ME program, MS program, or MBA. If not from computer science technical stream, you can even go for MBA. So that's what we said. You can have options of M.Tech. You can have option for doing MS abroad in foreign universities, and also trying to deviate from technical side and going into MBA or MBA information systems, which is a hybrid of both management and as well as information systems. If not, you can even think of going in for making your career in entrepreneurship. Become an entrepreneur, startup venture capitalist, right? So that is also a very good option. Nowadays, if you see reputed institutions like IITs, NITs, IIITs, they are coming up with their options or proposals for starting. They are encouraging the students to go for startups. I could see that in my recent visit in IIT Madras also. So they are basically encouraging the students to go for startups with entrepreneurship. And the third and final part is the job. 90% of the Tier 3 colleges, Tier 2 colleges, I would see, they basically aspire to take up a job as their career option. No doubt. I mean, a later point of time, in the later part of the discussion, I would emphasize, what should ideally speaking, what should an engineering student opt for? Go for job or go for higher studies? If not, venture capitalist. So jobs also, the options is there in public sector, private sector, and civil services. So boys and girls, I would like to tell you that in this presentation, I would concentrate on higher education, and in later video, we will concentrate on jobs aspect, because that also involves a lot of time. So I don't want to make a very long video as such. So in this video, we'll concentrate only on higher education, and in another video, we'll take up the jobs. Okay. So what are the options for higher education? Okay, for an engineering student. So first, as I said, you can go for Masters of Engineering, M.Tech or ME program after your graduation. So for that, you can plan, basically like M.Tech or ME in reputed institutes like IITs, NITs, central universities through an examination called GATE. So my dear students, if you are unaware of what GATE exam is, let me tell you briefly that I'm very sure many of you, those who are in first year, might have, my first year or even second year, might have dreamt for doing BE or B.Tech program from IITs. But due to several reasons, right? Several reasons, unforeseen reasons, right? You might not have been able to crack JEE and get a seat in IIT or get a tag of IIT. But that's not a worrisome point. That's not a point where you have to stop. I would say that still, after graduating from a Tier 2 or Tier 3 college, still the doors are open for you to get an IIT tag by doing M.Tech or Master's program in reputed institutions of the country like IITs or even NITs. So for that, just like you have JEE exam for doing B.Tech program, similarly, we have a GATE exam being conducted by IIT Consortium to take admissions, seek admissions for students in M.Tech program at IITs. So still, through GATE exam, you can get an IIT tag, okay? So that is a GATE exam. Or if not, you can even do M.Tech or ME in Indian state universities or private engineering colleges. For that, again, you have to take the GATE exam. GATE exam still holds qualifying exam for state universities or private colleges. But in addition to that, they also conduct their own entrance examinations. So this is one golden opportunity, I would say, if you want to build up your career as far as higher education is concerned, okay? We'll talk about GATE later. So as I said, for state universities and private engineering colleges, either you can go through GATE or, like for example, in Telangana, we have an examination called PGECET. So through PGECET, you can seek admission into private universities and private engineering colleges. So this is a brief information I am imparting with regard to GATE so that you become knowledgeable in case if you are not familiar with it. So this is an exam that has 3 sections, okay, conducted for 3 hours and 3 sections. So for section 1 basically focuses on English and general aptitude, wherein a student knowledge is tested with regard to English, reasoning, verbal aptitude, quantitative aptitude, analytical aptitude, spatial aptitude. Because it is quite important that an engineering student, particularly of computer science, should be well versed with speaking abilities, quantitative abilities, analytical thinking, and so on. So for that reason, GATE has a significant quantum of time and also marks for this section. Section 2 deals with engineering mathematics, because engineering means mathematics, even including computer science. So if you are weak in mathematics, then you cannot do good problem solving. An essential skill of computer science is problem solving, for which mathematics should be strong. So therefore, GATE has a focus on mathematics also, where a student knowledge is tested with respect to topics like probability, calculus, linear algebra, and also discrete mathematics. And boys and girls, thirdly, in the third section, we have the core subjects of computer science, the technical subjects we can say. So almost 3 plus 3, 9, 11 subjects are there, core subjects, which you study generally in engineering, right from first year to fourth year, starting from programming to computer networks, okay? So all these courses are basically there for which your knowledge is essentially tested. So boys and girls, there is a huge difference between the GATE exam and the university exam. University exam basically tries to go for passing the student, whereas competitive exams like GATE tries to curtail the competitiveness of the student, tries to basically check the quantitative knowledge of the students, okay? So in terms of question, I would recommend, particularly for those who are in second year and third year, that they can take up at any point of time some question paper of GATE, some last year, before last year, and try to see of all the subjects which you studied, are you able to basically solve any of the GATE question of the subject which you have already studied. If you are able to do, then that means you are good. If you are not, then that means basically entails or implies that you are weak in the technical subjects, you are weak in the foundations. A good computer science professional would be very strong in the technical subjects. So for taking up jobs, as I'm going to tell you in the later video, for taking up jobs in good level 1 product-based companies, your technical competency, technical subject competency should be on par to at least at the level of GATE. So that's why I always encourage the students, even if you don't want to write the GATE exam, even if you don't want to do M.Tech, but prepare at the level of GATE. let it be on your own preparation. No need to join any institute or anything. You can prepare on your own, right? But prepare to that level of competency so that you are in a good position, comfortable position with regard to placements, also with regard to technical subjects. Okay. Now coming to some more details with regard to the GATE exam, this is generally the weightage of all the subjects that you can see. Okay. Like the theory of computation and all other subjects, their general weightage is given over here. Like the major chunk of the subject is you can say operating system, networks, computer organization, and so on. They take a lot of chunk. Algorithms also, lot of chunk. So boys and girls, coming to the next option, many of the times Telangana, particularly Telangana and AP students, I find Telugu students, I find that they have the interest of going abroad and doing MS, maybe in US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and other European countries. So therefore, that generally in the subcontinent we call M.Tech or ME, but in Western countries, we basically call that program as a master's program as Master of Science, MS. So what is the requirement for doing Master of Science in countries like US, UK, Australia, and MS program is also there in Indian universities, but generally MS in Indian universities we call it as a research program. So we are going to have a detailed discussion with regard to this also. So the qualifying exam for doing MS or seeking admission in US universities with regard to MS program is a paper called GRE or an exam called GRE, Graduate Record Examination, or TOEFL, Test of English and Foreign Languages, and like that IELTS. So these are the qualifying. We'll have a detailed discussion on that also. And as I said, for Indian universities, the MS program will be through GATE or PG-CET, for example, in Telangana. Now, if you see the structure of GRE examination, Graduate Record Examination, generally this is done, it has the following three sections, major three sections: analytical assessment, verbal assessment, and quantitative reasoning. Issue-based writing 30 minutes, where you have to be argumentatively strong in writing for 30 minutes. The score is from 0 to 6. Verbal has 2 sections, 20 questions per section, 30 minutes per section, and other details are highlighted here. Quantitative, that is dealing with mathematical part, has 2 sections, 20 questions per section, 30 minutes per section, and the score is from 130 to 170. Okay. So one unscored section, that is quantitative or verbal, randomly selected section, could be maths or verbal. So this is about the graduate record examination. Okay. And the GRE generally when to write. So it is generally conducted 3 times a year, namely in the month of September, October, and April. And these are the universities of the various countries that accept the GRE score: US, UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Singapore. And boys and girls, validity of the GRE score is 5 years. So that means after doing MS program with the same score, even if you want to take up research program, PhD, that also holds stand eligible. Okay. And the range of marks and the corresponding rating you can see here. By chance, if you are scoring between 165 to 170, that is an excellent score. 155 to 164, very good, and so on for others. So it is definitely desirable that if you write GRE, then you stand a chance to get admission into a very good university, and sometimes with good financial benefit also, means financial assistance also. So please write GRE if you want to do MS. Without GRE, if you go, you have to take admission into a low-level university, which is not at all desirable. Okay. Like see, these are some of the universities that accept admissions based on GRE with the detailed scores presented. Like for example, one university I will read, Pennsylvania State University. In verbal, it you expected the cutoff is like 154, quantity 152, analytical 4.0. These are the scores of various universities as a sample, as an example. Like that, the TOEFL exam, test of English as a foreign language. There's a pattern of test. You have reading section, listening section, and then you have a 10 minutes break, and then again speaking and writing. So essentially, this is an exam which is going to test your speaking and writing and understanding abilities of English. Because if you go to countries like US and UK, without English there is no survival, right? Just like water is essential for a fish, like that English is essential for surviving in the foreign countries like US and UK and other countries. So that is about TOEFL, and these are the countries that accept the TOEFL also same thing. Like TOEFL score, Harvard University expecting 100 plus, Columbia University 100 plus, American University 100 plus, and like that for other scores. So the other option is to go for Master of MBA, Master of Business Administration. So for MBA program also, those students who are aspiring for taking up their career, building up their career in administration, business administration, then also there is an equal chance. But my recommendation is never try to do MBA locally from state universities. Try to go for either abroad or good reputed institutes, right? Like institutions of national importance in India, like you have IIMs. So what is the requirement for that? Let us try to explore. For foreign universities, and they have an exam called GMAT. So you have to basically clear that exam to secure admission. Just like we have GRE for MS, we have GATE for IITs, GMAT for doing MBA in foreign universities. And for Indian universities, we have exam called CAT. And for local colleges in Telangana, like I said, so like that every college, every state will have its own local examination for seeking admission into local MBA. So this is the pattern for GMAT, those who wanted to basically get aware with regard to MBA program, management program in foreign universities. You have analytical writing assessment, integrated reasoning, quantitative and verbal, and the details of that is given. So the rough durations is 30 minutes and 62 and 65 minutes. Okay. So and what are the topics where the students' knowledge is tested, that also is highlighted here. In this presentation, you can have a detailed look. Okay. And this is the CAT examination, which is basically an examination for seeking admission into MBA programs of our country, National Institutes of Repute, like IIMs. Okay. Like CAT exam has 3 sections again, QA, DILR and VRC, that the expansions are here. Quantitative aptitude, 34 questions, time 60 minutes. Data interpretation and logical reasoning, 32 questions, 60 minutes. Verbal ability and reading comprehension, 34 minutes, 34 questions and 60 minutes. So that is a comprehensive detailed description with regard to CAT exam. And this is the structure of our Telangana state EAMCET exams. Those of you who are interested in doing MBA from the local universities of the state. So like that, every state may have its own local examination. Every state of the Indian subcontinent will have its own examination, like I said. So these are the details of the EAMCET Integrated Common Entrance Test examination. Okay. So these are the top MBA entrance exams as far as India is concerned. So CAT, EXAT, CMAT and etc. There are so many things. So those of you who basically have a deep interest in taking up their career, building up their career in Masters of Business Administration, then accordingly they can make a selection by going through the details of all these exams and selectively, carefully making a decision. And finally, I would say with regard to entrepreneurship, if you believe that you have the attributes, you have the skills of entrepreneurship and you have the confidence of doing the business in the startups or any other firms, then you can definitely opt for this as well. Government of India is also promoting and giving the support for starting up the companies as such, right? So Ministry of MSME and so on are basically advertising a lot of opportunities for taking up a career in entrepreneurship. So that is another aspect. So this is what basically the objective of my presentation. I would like to tell as far as the career planning is concerned. So my dear students, my personal recommendation based on several aspects is that the most confusing point for the students in part of their career process is, sir, should I go for a job or should I go for higher studies? I would personally say like this. This is my personal conviction by evaluating by taking into consideration several factors. See, if your family can afford that, you can go for higher studies. I would very strongly recommend that you should go for higher studies. That is either do M.Tech through IIT, through GATE and in IIT or ISC or maybe NITs. If not, going abroad and doing MS, there is no problem. That is also a good option. Or if you have a deep interest, as I said, right, of business administration with information systems, then you can opt for GMAT or you can opt for CAT and do IIM. That is also a very good option for computer science professionals. So boys and girls, if your family can afford that, you can go for higher studies, please go for higher studies. Don't think of job of just 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 12 lakhs, even 15 lakhs also if you are getting in the present scenario, I would say go for higher studies. That should be your first option. But however, if you believe that, no sir, my family basically need my services, we are from economically weak background, then I need to compulsory work for 2-3 years. Go for job, but don't think of, at least I would say, a top level service based companies, right? Not in a mid level service based companies. With a minimum offer of at least you should try for 15 lakhs, minimum I'm saying, and at most 20-25 lakhs, that should be your target. So try for that. So particularly my focus, my request is for first year and second year students, you should start building up there. Suppose if you want to basically take up a job in Microsoft or take up a job in Google, Amazon, what are the requirements? You make a study of it. What are the things that you need to, what are the skills that you need to develop? You concentrate on it. We'll have a discussion on that maybe in the another video. So do that planning. Right from second year at least, I would say, if not third year, and then prepare accordingly the interview process for it. That is what is meant by career planning. And then finally, the civil services is also another option. I will make a discussion of that as well in my next video. Like civil services now also is also a very hot topic, catching up among the professionals to make it as a successful career option. Okay, so this is what I intended in this video. And the next video series, I will talk about the job opportunities, what are the various types of jobs, how are the jobs taken, and what are the skill set required for taking up jobs, and so on. Okay, thank you very much.